Hi, I'm Andrea Metcalf. Welcome to our yoga stretch. This is a great workout to open up the body and give you some basics of yoga. All you'll need today for this workout is some bare feet and a mat. So let's get started. We're going to start standing today, with our feet together, hands at our side with nice tall posture. Bring that chin slightly up and close your eyes gently. Try and breathe down into your belly, inhaling and exhaling. 2 more times. Finding that center, finding that focus. 1 more time. And slowly open your eyes. Raise those hands up. Let's take those hands to the heart and feet wide. Just a little gentle rotation, reaching side to side with those legs. Let the body twist around and rotate, opening up the spine and letting your body flow. Let's start to take those hands together and push across, borrowing this from Tai Chi. Transfer the weight and push. It's as if I have this small ball of energy pushing across the body. We're just going to get that breath and our body into a nice gentle rhythm. Maybe one hand and now the other hand. Just as if you're pushing that energy away, clearing that path, breathing in and breathing out. And now let's start a nice strong mountain pose. That's with feet together, hands at your side, heart lifted. From here, squeeze the shoulder blades and take a deep breath in, raising the hands. Exhale, bring it down to the heart. Let's go ahead and bend those knees and sit into the heels, swinging those arms back and up as we start to feel our legs strengthen and be rooted to the ground. Reach those hands up, and we're going to start with our first forward fold. Following the body down, hands into the thighs, bend those knees and reach to the ground. Release the head, neck, and shoulders. Shake out the head, and slowly bend and straighten the legs. Sometimes it's easier to take your feet a little further apart, and you can still hold on to the ground. If you can't touch the ground, you can use a block or a bolster or a chair to put those hands on. Continue to breathe. Try and straighten the legs and push your hands into the shins, arching the spine and lifting the heart. Monkey pose. Gently drop down through the hands and fingertips and step out into plank. Rock through the toes over those wrists. Feel the change in weight. You can always drop to the knees if this feels like too much. Draw the belly in and continue to rock. Let's go ahead and take it down to hands and knees. Knees under the hips, hands under the shoulders. Go ahead and rock into a circle around those wrists. Fingers are pressing into each pad. Other direction. And now turn the fingers to the outside, thumbs to the front, and let's rock right to left. Feel a nice stretch through the forearm extensors. And let's take it back into that circle 2 times to the right, 2 times to the left. And one more time, let's flip those fingers facing towards the knees, thumbs to the outside. Rock front to back, stretching out the forearms. Maybe feel this all the way up into the neck. Drop the chin. And lift the head up. Let's go into those circles 2 times to the right and 2 times to the left. Shake out the hands. Let's start with the spine and drop the tailbone as we curl up, chin to chest, cat stretch, and then tuck those toes under as you release the pelvis and arch into cow. Continue to roll through the spine and release it. 3 more times. And once more. Let's lift those hips and press into our first down dog. Just rock into those heels and walk the dog by pressing the heels down. Allow your head to fall through your elbows and shoulders, pushing that weight back and up. Take a release back down into the knees and cat stretch to cow. Let's walk those hands to the front of the mat and lower the hips into the ground. Keeping the legs shoulder distance apart, let's press into those fingertips and stretch the spine upward. As you press up, squeeze the elbows into the body, pointing them inward. And hold. Let's lift off the knees and press into the top of those feet. And release. Let's take the bottom of the feet together, toes to the corners. Open those knees and press up right into the thighs. Feel a stretch through the front of the hip flexor. Squeeze the heels in towards the hips. And release. Let's go back to that up dog. Feet shoulder width apart, hands in the front. Lift and exhale as you come down. Here we're going to flip into down dog from our up dog. Inhale up. Exhale, roll into those toes and press back. Walk your feet all the way into your hands. And let's press back into those shins, lifting up through the head and chest, monkey pose. Forward fold and reverse swan dive up. Getting that spine moving again. Let's take a deep breath in and forward fold. Aim the hips back. Rest into the thighs. Press into the shins. Inhale, and as you exhale, let's step into plank. Again, rock the plank, working through that core. And this time, let's lower to our knees, lowering down through the chest. Extend the legs, up dog to down dog. We're working towards that basic sun salutation. And walk those feet into hands. Take a deep stretch down. Lift up halfway. Exhale. And inhale up. Hands to heart. Let's continue to add on. Inhale up. Aim those hips back, pushing back into the heels, into monkey pose. Bend the knees, step or jump into plank, and let's immediately lower down to the floor. From here, lift to up dog, exhale to down dog, and let's lift the right leg up for a stretch. Explore with that ankle, circling inward and outward. Bring the knee down to the chest, take a deep breath in, exhale and push back one more time. Explore with that ankle, circle right, circle left. Inhale, hands to shoulders, exhale, push back. One last time, circling that leg. Let's step the foot down into the floor for a runner's lunge. Plant that heel down. Work to have the knee right over the heel. Work through the hip and rock, stretch. Both hands may be on the ground with palms or fingertips if you need to be up a little higher. You can even rest the hand up on the leg and come even higher. Work on stretching through those legs. Wherever you are, try and anchor the left hand and sweep the other arm up and down 4 times. Use that rib cage to twist the body and hold one at the top. Take both hands down, lift through the heart, and let's drop the back leg. Now, as we stretch here, I want you to really think about lifting up and moving the body forward. Let's take that right toe out to the corner and stretch, lifting the chin. And let's take this back to the front, onto hands and knees. Take a deep breath in, cat stretch to cow, and push into down dog. Go ahead and pedal the heels, and let's lift the left leg up straight. Explore with that ankle, 2 circles right, 2 circles left. Draw the knee into the chest and stretch back. Circle that ankle, give it some movement, bring it in, and take it back. One more time, circling that ankle. Let's step up into that runner's lunge. Again, we're going to have that knee right over the heel, fingertips or palms to the ground. If you need to be up higher, go right ahead. Work on getting a little stretch through that hip. Now, we're going to anchor that right hand, and left will come up and down 4 times, twisting through the rib cage, using your breath with the motion, and holding the last one. Let's go ahead and take both hands to the front and lower the back leg. Lift through the chest and move forward, stretching. Take a deep breath in, and let's turn that foot to the side, lifting the chest to stretch, feeling the inner thigh and hip opening. Release the weight to the back leg, and let's bring that back into hands and knees. Hands under the hips, under the shoulders, knees under the hips. Cat stretch to cow. Down dog. Gently walk the dog and walk your feet into your hands. Halfway up into monkey pose, forward fold, and reverse swan dive up. And let's put that into a full series, sun salutation B. Take a deep breath in, reaching back, forward fold, aim the hips back. Take a gaze. Jump or step into plank, lower through chaturanga, and lift to up dog and down dog. Let's go ahead and lift the right leg and step through the hands into that runner's lunge. Walk up the thigh into your first warrior pose. Take a deep breath and pivot that foot into warrior 2. Stay here for a moment, gaze to the front, and just breathe. Nice. Let's drop that elbow and take a nice side body stretch. And reverse lunge up. From here, we're going back down to the ground. Circle the hands through to runner's lunge. Reverse spine with that arm, turn the rib cage, and let's step back into plank. Lower through chaturanga, up dog to down dog. Left leg in the air, and let's step through to runner's lunge. Find that stretch. Walk up to your first left side, warrior one. Pivot the back foot and hold for 5 breaths into warrior two. Think about deepening this stretch as you hold it. Relax the shoulders, squeeze the shoulder blades. And now let's cradle that elbow down to a side body stretch. Reverse lunge. And let's follow ourselves down to the ground into single aim runner's lunge, reverse stretch, and step back into that plank. Lower to chaturanga through toes or knees. Slide into up dog and down dog push. And let's try and take those feet as wide as the mat, bending the knees and aiming the hips back to drop through the shoulders. And let's move back into that plank. Alternate knees to the belly to warm up our core. How about crossing under, knees to the opposite elbow? You can take a break anytime you need to. And now let's push back into down dog, right leg up, and we're going to work into a modified pigeon pose. So in pigeon, we're going to try and bring that knee up to the front. Depending if you have any injuries, you may not be in this position very deep, and you can always flip to your back into reverse pigeon. Working through here is opening up the hips, so gentle rock. Lift through the heart. Let's try and come down to the elbows, lowering into the forearms, dropping the chin to chest. And now take a moment back upright. We're going to lift that knee on the log leg to stretch back and reach up with the heel. See if you can reach back with that hand and get yourself into a deeper stretch. Opening up the heart, gaze to the front. Now release the pose by falling into the bent knee hip and bring those legs around to the front. From here, still focused on that front leg bend, we're going to bend the knee and go into reverse pigeon on our backs. Opening the hips. We can thread the hand through to the front of the knee and give it a little hug. This may help you open the hips a little bit more. Let's extend the bottom leg. Try and reach up for those toes. Lift the head and shoulders. Engage that core. And to get a little core work, we're going to support the head, lower that leg down, and move right into a bicycle for 10. The foot stays high, the low back presses into the ground. It's a slow movement, 10 on each side. Draw that leg in, keep breathing. 9 and 10. Hug the knees and let's roll up to seated. Now we've got to get to the other side. Twist onto hands and knees, cat stretch to cow. Let's tuck those toes under and press high into down dog. Now one more time, move into plank, and let's take knee to belly for 10. That's it. And now knee to opposite elbow. And stretch back, down dog. And left leg will come forward into our modified pigeon. You can go all the way to your back. Working on stretching through that hip. Depending on what your flexibility is, you may be able to get that hip all the way down. You may have this foot parallel to the front, but go to where you feel your stretch, your edge. Take a moment to take it a bit lower into the elbows. Release the head, neck, and shoulders and take a deep breath in. And one more time, let's come up to high pigeon. Extending that leg back, lifting the heel. Let's reach back for the foot. Turn the chest and press forward. Slowly release the pose into the hip, and let's bring those feet around. We're gonna move back now with the other heel up into reverse pigeon, gently hugging the knee in, opening through that hip. Go ahead and extend the leg up, get into a little deeper stretch. Let's take those hands to the front and reach up for that foot. Allow the hands to come behind the head, lower the leg, and let's go again into our bicycle for 20. Push the low back into the ground. As those feet get lower, the pelvis rocks away. We want to make sure we stay connected through the pelvis, so keep the feet up higher as a general rule. And hug the knees. Now, to make sure we hit that core just a little bit more for stability, we're gonna roll to our side, onto the elbow with knees bent. So my level one will have the elbow under the shoulder and knees stacked. Let's lift up into side plank. Level two can extend the top leg, hold. And my level three can press through that foot and bring the other ankle across. Breathe through it, pull the belly in, and release the hips down. Take that knee in, both legs bent. We're gonna open up that hip flexor, roll back into the elbows, and feel the stretch through the front of the leg. If you'd like to lay all the way down, be my guest. You can just slide into your spine, but the whole time you're working on trying to stretch this leg down. You can always stay up on that elbow and just focus on where the stretch is, opening that body, lengthening the body. Let's bring those knees around, walk yourself up, and let's do the other side. Let's take that elbow down, body straight, knees bent. My level ones will lift up, the hand to the sky. Level two will extend that leg. And level three will lower the top leg and cross the ankle. Holding for 2 to 3 breaths, pulling the belly in. And releasing. Bending both knees. Let's come upright and onto that elbow, working on opening up the quad and hip flexor. You can go all the way down to the back or keep the body upright. Feel the stretch through the front of this thigh. Slowly come back up to elbows. Walk yourself in. And let's get into just some low back stretches before we finish up. Knees come into chest. And extend the right leg. Flex the foot and pull the toes back. Hug that knee into the chest. And now release the knee over the hip bones with the hands to a wide V. Cross over and back, trying to keep the shoulders on the ground. Let's do about 5 of these. This is really nice for runners, people who play sports, agility sports like tennis or basketball, even golf. Now reach for that knee with the hand and take the opposite hand out to the corner to stretch the chest. Take 2 deep breaths here. And now extend that leg, push the toe down and the heel up, and look into that hand and stretch for another 2 breaths. Hug it into center and let's try the other side. Both knees into the chest. Extend the left leg, flex the toe, pull them back, hug the knee. Release the knee over the hips, hands to the side, and let's rock that knee across the body and back. Now hold the knee with the hand, and let's reach that opposite hand to the corner. Take 2 to 3 breaths. And now extend that leg, toe down, heel up, looking back into that hand for 2 to 3 more breaths. Gently bring those knees into center, hands at the side. Let's reset the spine by lifting up the hips and rolling the spine down. Bottom of the feet together and knees open into goddess pose. For here will be just 1 minute, and I'd like you to focus on counting your breaths for this final minute. And begin. Each inhale and exhale counts as 1 breath. Relax the body, relax the mind. Focus on slowing down the breath. Counting each one, we're halfway there. And stop counting. Start to wiggle your toes and fingers. Let's close our knees to the side and roll up to a seated position. As you count those breaths, they have a correlation with your heart rate. So hopefully you were somewhere between 5 and 10, which would be around between 50 and 100 beats per minute. If not, we've got to cut down on that coffee. Let's go ahead and open those hands to receive and take your head from right to left, and ear down to the shoulder, right to left. And take a deep breath in, bringing joy, love, and abundance down to your heart. Namaste. I'm Andrea Metcalf. I hope you enjoyed this few minutes of stretch and relaxation, and that you'll come back and practice again with me soon.